stand up close to that.
If you want
Right
me
here?
to move or anything like that, just let me know. Check, you ready? Yep.
It's the realest, man. Yes, sir.
All right, questions for Isaiah?
So how much can you learn about a football team in 4 games, man? You guys are off to a terrific start.
Yeah, man. It's it comes down to starting early. Our preparation started yesterday, right? So we have our 60-play cup we watch, and throughout the season, obviously we watch their games and everything like that. But last night our preparation, we watched. I watched 2 games already. So it's just everybody on the team, man. We just getting after it. It started yesterday, our preparation.
It seems like even going back to spring ball, you guys had a really, really good focus. Like you guys knew what the plan was. All you had to do was go execute it. How close to the plan is this? I mean, you guys, the defense just absolutely showed out on Saturday night.
Yeah, man. I mean, we went out there and executed. Of course, it wasn't perfect, and we have a lot of things to get better. I mean, it was the 4th week, right? So we want to go up on a uptrend, what I'm saying, throughout the season. So that being said, man, we just want to come out here every week and, we get our plan, like I said, early in the week and just work on it all week long.
So what wasn't perfect about it now that you've watched some game film and kind of digested things?
Absolutely. I mean, there's things like, we lost eye control was one of them.
Okay.
Truthfully, we had 2 plays where we could have kept them. We led up 2 plays over 25 yards, and truthfully, both of them we could have let up for maybe a yard max if we would have just kept our gaps and eye control. So when it comes to those things, just clean those things up, those little things, and then we'll execute better next week.
Everywhere Jay Hill has been over the course of his career, his players have just fallen in love with him. What is it about that guy? And this is, I mean, it's almost like a storybook season in the making with all that's happened with him.
I mean, he cares about his guys. He loves everybody. He loves us. And he's genuine. His message is genuine, and he has a purpose. And he's implemented that purpose on all of us, and we've all bought in.
It just seems like this defense is playing really together. Like mentally, you guys just have something that clicks in together.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, all of us are boys, what I'm saying, from the back end, the secondary, all the way to the front. We all hang out, we all talk, we all, have good vibes with each other. And so we've built that relationship, especially over the past year and a half.
It's easy to get comfortable in your own digs. What's it like getting ready for a trip to Baylor?
Dude, it's exciting, first of all. Of course, like Coach Hill just said, in the Big 12, if you want to win championship, you got to win on the road. So we're coming just with the same mindset as if we're playing here at LES.
Sure.
What is it about this team where it feels like you guys still have a little bit of a hunger to get better? Because I mean, it's really easy to kind of play with that chip on your shoulder, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are doubting you, low expectations, that kind of thing. And now all of a sudden, like, you're showing out, you're getting all this praise. How do you kind of keep sort of level-headed, I guess, with national rankings and all that?
Well, I mean, after last week, we're still underdogs in this game, right? So we're always going to have that chip on our shoulder, and we knew what our plan was at the start of the season, regardless. I mean, it's only week 4, right? It's an emphasis of being hungry and humble until the very end. And so, of course, it's cool to have a good win and climb in the rankings, but at the end of the day, we know what our purpose is, we know exactly what we want, and we're not going to stop until we get it.
Does Coach Hill kind of put a little bit more of an emphasis maybe with you guys in film review and that kind of thing on the imperfections, the eye control you're mentioning, that kind of thing, because of sort of what you're coming off of the 4-0 start and that kind of thing?
Absolutely, especially, how well we know our defense, how well we've been able to execute, what Coach Hill has in store every week. It comes down to little things, right? And so on our days when we watch the film and review what we did good and what we did wrong, it always comes down to little things, and that's what we want to clean up for the next week.
It also comes down to leaders when it comes to quality control. Take a guy like Tyler Batty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he just kind of an extension of the coaching staff?
100%. In fact, it's cool because in our meeting rooms, he's talking just as much as Kelly is. You know what I'm saying? He's up there talking to the Bulls, especially when it comes down to the 4-eye techniques, our stunts, all types of things. So, yeah, absolutely. He has a huge leadership role on our team.
How cool is it that your culture involves wanting to win for the guy next to you just as much as anything else?
Absolutely. It's cool, man. It's great. Some of the best teams that I've ever heard of or ever been a part of have been player-ran teams.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, it's awesome to have that leadership role and that collective identity.
How do you not take this for granted? Fall in Provo, it's just a beautiful day and you're out here playing football.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed to be here.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I
Thanks for
appreciate
taking
you,
the
man.
time.
Appreciate you guys. All good? Awesome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Man, you know what I'm saying?
What's up, Kelly?
Shout out, man. Okay, we still got to do
I'm
that
glad to
crossover,
finally get a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, man.
How's it being back in Provo?
It's been good.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's been a good while that you've been here and everything. So.
It's been good. We live in Highland, so it's been great.
Okay, got you.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like Provo. That was a joke.
Yeah, okay. How nice is it when a plan comes to fruition? You guys are 4-0, and boy, oh boy, the defense just showed out on Saturday night.
Yeah, it was fun. I think. I think people think we played a lot better than what we really did. I think there's a lot of stuff we can improve on. We did not stop the run great like I think we had done in the first couple games, especially the week before versus Wyoming. I thought we were great against the run, and these guys, I think, exposed a couple things for us to be able to fix before we get to the Baylor game. And so sometimes it's good to have the ball bounce your way a couple times and win in a game like that, where I don't think we didn't do a great job of stopping the run. But man, it was a fun night, and we did enough to win, and obviously it was handily won. But a lot of it was because the ball just bounced our way pretty much every single time all night long, and sometimes those things happen for you. And so I'm glad we were on that side for once. It was fun.
And now that I've got that perspective on the situation, how easy is it when a game trickles into the wee hours to bring that team back down to earth and get them going back to work?
Yeah, I think our guys see it on Monday when they came back and we watch film, and everybody sees how much improvement they have to make leading up into this game, and that's the beauty of it. Every single game there's things to improve on, but in this game it was glaring a couple things that we got to fix before we get into the Baylor game. And so I think the average fan and the average person might not see those things, but being a coach and seeing those details that we got to fix, and the players seeing it when we get back in the film room. And our whole thing this week is just being humble and hungry and just continue to learn and grow and to get better. And I think our team is doing that. We have the right mindset going forward, and if we make those proper corrections, I think things will go well for us on Saturday.
It seems like you guys have leaders that are really in tune to one another. How big a tool is that moving forward as well to make sure they're keeping everybody on task?
Yeah, I think Batty is doing a great job with the team right now. I point him out just because he's in my room a lot, and on the defensive side of the ball. But I think there's other guys as well that are doing a great job. I think John Nelson and Blake Mangelson. I think those guys are doing a great job too as well. I just feel that our defense is so much more experienced than a year ago. If we would have had the same experience a year ago, we probably had a very similar result, but we had no experience in this defense, and a lot of guys that hadn't played a lot of football. But man, we got all that playing time under our belt a year ago, and I think that experience is showing the execution that we've had these first 4 games. But man, it's just there's a long way to go, and there's a lot of improvement still to be made. But happy to this point where we're at.
First order of business is the trip to Baylor. What kind of problems did the Bears pose? They kind of came out of their shell, it seemed like, this last week.
Yeah, I really respect the head coach, Coach Aranda. I've known him for a really long time, and he's a really good football coach. One of the best football coaches I've ever been around. Being the D coordinator at Utah State and at Wisconsin and at LSU. I mean, he's one of a kind. Won a national championship, so he can coach a ball, and he'll have that team ready to go. And so, and I think that team's hungry. I think they're hungry, and I think they're playing really well, especially the last 2 games against Air Force and against Colorado. I mean, they should have won the Colorado game. They let that game slip away. And so the quarterback, I think, is playing better. Number 13 I think, got that team playing at a way high level right now, especially offensively. They've scored, 2 weeks in a row, 31 points. And so I think he's done a great job. And I think they're a different team with him. I think he throws the ball better, and he has guys all around him. I think they run the ball well. I think he runs the ball well. So there's a lot of issues they give to a defense, so we're going to have to execute well and play. I think we're going to have to play our best game on defense to be able to, come out of that on the road with a victory.
What do you like about working with Jay?
He's a good person,
really
number
good
one.
Person.
Really good guy. But he's very detailed too as well. So that's kind of the same type of person I am as well. I want to be somebody that's detailed and organized, and when somebody's detailed and organized with me, that helps me match well with them. So he's very planned out, very thorough. And he knows this defense, like the back of his hand. I mean, he's known it for the past 25 years, learning it back, from Coach Whittingham back in the day, and Coach Anderson too as well, that's been with us. But it's just, for me, the type of defense this is, I hadn't really been in this type of defense, and for me to learn kind of a new scheme has really helped me grow as a football coach, and just learning from a guy like him, I feel blessed.
I just want to sneak in one more. You did mention Coach Anderson there. When did your paths cross along the way? I'm always interested to find out, the first time 2 people got to know each other.
Yeah,
it's such a small world.
It's kind of a funny deal. I was recruiting his son Chasen back in the day when he was the head coach at Utah State, and went and did a home visit as he's the head coach at Utah State. Me and Coach Nick Howell, we go do a home visit up at Coach Anderson's house, and it was very awkward to say the least. And he's trying to get all the inside information about BYU and Bronco at the time. And
awesome.
But it was awesome. I mean, Coach Anderson's a great dude, and we laugh about it now, that home visit back in the day. But yeah, we recruited his son Chasen to come here, and he actually signed here, came here for a semester, and things didn't work out. He ended up leaving. I think when Coach Anderson went to Wisconsin, he ended up going with him there. But yeah, that's really the first time I really got to know him.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah,
Very
great
cool.
one. Great story right there.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Kelly, it's a little bit easier to kind of feed off the crowd and maybe make your own luck a little bit, like you were talking about the ball bouncing around on Saturday night, the home crowd. Were there things from Saturday that can be replicated on the road where maybe you don't have that environment, you don't have that extra juice to sort of make your own luck like that?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I love is when we're on the road, our crowd is there as well, right?
Yeah,
so we'll probably have, 10 to 15 to 20,000 fans. Who knows how many will show up, but I know we'll have a really good crowd down there. So I think we'll get that energy from our fan base like we do every time we go on the road. But, to replicate some of the things that happened the other day, I mean, the first fumble was just a really good hit by Jack Kelly, right on the running back's arm. We talked about putting the hat on the ball, and the ball pops right out. So, yeah, heck yeah, that could be replicated. And then we get Tyler dropping into coverage, and the quarterback overthrows him just a little bit, but Batty was exactly where he needed to be, doing his job, gets an interception, and the same thing with Harry when he gets his interception. And so it comes down to execution. So, heck yeah, that can be replicated as long as we execute and those players go out there and do their job and make plays. Yeah, I definitely think that could be replicated on the road. And, I think that showed at SMU how we played very similar in the red zone on Saturday night. We played very similar on the road at SMU. So, yeah, we just got to keep that rolling where we're just not allowing any touchdowns on the road and keep those guys to field goals.
As the pass rush guy on the coaching staff, would you have ever imagined that Tyler Batty would have an interception?
Oh, we always talked about it. Yeah, we always talked about it. Anytime he's dropping into coverage, I work a ball drill every day, and before every game, just one little quick ball drill, and I said, hey, that ball drill finally paid off for that one interception right there, Batty. So,
that's awesome.
But it was honestly at the end of the day, on that play, a lot of people don't notice that Jacob Robinson was getting some really good pressure off the edge. They were trying to set up a screen, and Jacob made him throw the ball sooner than he wanted, made him overthrow it. And you look at the play afterwards, and the running back, number 3, is looking at him like, what the heck, man? Like, what were you doing? Looking back at Avery Johnson, you could tell their timing was off, and a lot was because of Jacob's pressure off the edge right there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.